From Lexington, Kentucky to Nashville, Tennessee, Clarence Spalding has always had an interest in the music business. Now he's president of his own company, Spalding Entertainment. When Clarence Spalding attended the University of Kentucky, there was no such thing as a music business major. He didn't even know there was such a thing. What began as a career in accounting, he found his calling on the business side of the music industry and now is the president of his own company, Spalding Entertainment.
Well, I didn't even go to college to be in the music business. I didn't know you could actually make a living in the music business. I wasn't even focused on that. I was going to school to be an accountant, I thought, and then I was doing music business on the side as more as fun. And one thing led to another. I wasn't a very good accountant, and I was a lot better at the music business, and so I ended up running booking bands at nightclubs and that sort of thing. And one thing led to another, and I started running a nightclub. And I started buying all the talent for the nightclub, and one of the acts that I bought was a group called Exile, and they had a big hit called I Want to Kiss You All Over back in '78, and ended up going on the road with them, became their tour manager, and one thing led to another, and I ended up in Nashville.
Spalding's son, who has grown up in the industry and had a strong passion for it, wants to make his own way in the business. He'll be attending DePaul University in Chicago in the fall, and there will be several things Spalding wants his son to be aware of before he takes the big leap.
And I really stressed to him that he needs to intern as many places as he possibly can. I mean, I think that's a big thing is, you go to school, you think when you come out of Murray State that there's going to be a job waiting for you, and there's not. There's not going to be a job waiting for you. You're going to have to earn it like everybody else. And how are you going to do that? Well, it's who you know is going to help you get through a lot of doors. So, I really told him, in Chicago, you need to be anywhere volunteering as many places as you possibly can.
On his journey from accounting major to president of Spalding Entertainment, Spalding has learned a thing or two. He knows what it's like starting out, networking, and finding a calling in the industry.
I think it's that, volunteering. I find the more you volunteer, the more you kind of feel where you want to be. If you're volunteering or you're interning at a management company, after 6 months of being there, you might go, I hate the idea of being a manager. I mean, I started out wanting to be an agent, and it took me about 3 months to go, I hate it. I mean, I hate the idea of selling, and an agent basically is a salesman, and I didn't want to do that, and I knew I wouldn't be very good at it. But there's publicity, and there's publishing, and there's management, and there's so many different facets when people go, I want to be in the music business. Well, what does that mean? Until you get in there and find out, well, I don't like publishing and I don't like publicity, but I really love management. Okay, then find a way to get involved with a manager, a management company. Volunteering, interning for free, the more you know, the better off you're going to be on the next job.
He has a few tips and suggestions for students before they make their way to Music City, USA.
Well, AIBA is an organization that is built around, the idea of growing the business, and I've had the luxury of, being a part of a lot of successful acts, and hopefully I bring some kind of expertise that can help, the next generation be successful in the business.